are back. This is my second new show for the new season, and I can't believe who I have in the chair today. For those who are boxing fans and fanatics, go get your fathers, go get your brothers, go get your uncles, and the ladies who like boxing, because two of the best are here. So, without any further ado, welcome to the show. I shouldn't say show because it's a program, but it says show, but it's always a program. But, you know, Henry Tillman I don't know what to say about Henry. Henry has been a friend of mine for several years, and my brother, and we support one another in all ways, and he's just one of the best big brothers I could have. Big brother, little brother, because I'm older than he is. So, you know, and then there is the other champ in the chair who I've had respect for since probably the 80s, coming out of Davenport?
Davenport, Iowa.
Davenport,
Yep.
coming out of Davenport, and his name is Michael Nunn.
Michael second in that.
Michael second to Nunn, if we add that in. Michael second to Nunn. So, brothers, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Michael, it's good to see you.
It was great seeing you as well.
Yeah, it's good to see you. So listen, I want to start with this. Life after boxing. What has it been like for you? Henry, you're going to start with you.
Well, I'm not just speaking for myself. I think I'm kind of speaking for most fighters. And a lot of fighters get out of boxing regardless of the money they made, because it's like giving somebody something that they don't know what to do with it. And you got a lot of fighters that made a lot of money but didn't know what to do with money. They're economically zero. And so they went and did everything they see on the TV, a car, a big old house they didn't need, just everything they didn't need with their money. And then pretty soon, they probably had people dibbling and dabbling in and out their money that they didn't realize what was going on with taxes and so on and so forth, and just accumulating bills and bills and bills. Then they stop fighting, slow down, the paychecks stop coming. And a lot of us as fighters, we spend money that we haven't made yet based off of what we made last year. But most of it is just gone. And now I got this fight, this potential fight, that fight, but they haven't happened yet. And then guys are still spending their money. And their education for us, like I say, economically wise, is 0 to none. And they stuck. That's what happened with a lot of them. And some guys just stay in too long, I think. I made a pact with them. I said, I'm going 10 years pro. And I'm done. Win, lose, or draw. So I never wanted to fight anyway. I kind of got in fighting because I was in jail in the youth authority, YA. And so I literally fought my way out of jail. They sent me straight from YTS in Chino, California, home for 6 days. I had to report to the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. They discovered me down there.
In Colorado Springs?
No, they discovered me in Indiana. We were down in Indianapolis in
Indianapolis?
IBF.
For the national championships.
Right.
I only had 10 fights. I was unheard of. My first 10 fights was behind the wall. That was the first time I ever fought as a free man. I wasn't even free. Smitty was the police. He was just the boxing coach, but he was still the police. He had in his back pocket handcuffs, can of mace, and a badge. Did nobody know? People say, what do YTS stand for? I said, youth training school.
Youth training school.
Youth training school. Because Smitty, he was really a disciplinarian type of guy because he'd been around the jail stuff, and he's an ex-fighter, pro and amateur. And I think Smitty was half Puerto Rican and half black or something like that. You could tell he was black in it, but he was real light, and he kind of looked like with curly hair like a Puerto Rican. But Smitty said he was 5'3". Smitty probably was 5 feet. That's with shoes on. He's real short. He used to chip out. He hold a pass. He hold a pass like this with me. Because they used to all be laughing, boy. But you better laugh in his face because he was mean as he was. Look, he was a mean joker, boy.
He didn't like he messed with his fighters.
He hold a pass like this.
Right.
People say, man, how you hold them pass? Because I was tall. I was up here, big, but he pow.
But he was holding them.
Funny. Oh, yeah, he held them. Yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was doing.
So, Michael, after life after professional boxing for you,
You know, I had my bumps and bruises, but, you know, I'm a soldier, so I know how to keep moving forward. And, you know, I ended up catching a federal drug conspiracy case, and I went to jail. They gave me a 24-year sentence. I done 16 years, 6 months on it, and I was released February 6, 2019. Wasn't supposed to be released like March of 2024, but they passed this this law, this prison law, gave us these 2-point reductions, and guys that had been doing whatever they were supposed to be doing while they was incarcerated had was given the 2-point reduction, and so happened. You know, God put me in line, and I was
That was federal time?
Yeah, federal time. It was 5 years knocked off my sentence. So
you understand what he's talking about? The point system they use for the federal Fed?
No, I don't understand the point.
What it is?
You got to explain that part, because they wouldn't really get it.
Okay, well, what happened when I was in prison? I had 5 years to do on my sentence, but they passed this law.
Go from go from the part like. Depending on kind of charge you're convicted
this is a federal
of.
drug conspiracy charge, and what happened?
But they give you points.
Yeah, they give you points
for like how much dope, how much money, was it a gun, was it aggravated, you know what I mean? And they suddenly add point. The more points you get, that's what
the higher the sentence.
The bracket. That's what sentencing bracket you go into.
Right. Okay, got it.
Because you have a guy with no points with the same exact crime.
But if he
get probation,
exactly.
you be like, wait a minute, he white. That's the way you get it. No, he don't have no way on the record.
But back what I was saying, I was released February 6, 2019, and stepping home, you know, I'm rebuilding things, taking it slow, and you know, things have been real prosperous for me. I've been putting a few Hall of Fames, and you know, I thank God. You know, now that I'm older, I got a big enough name that I can still generate money and do things. You know, people always want me to come do things. I'll be going to New York in the next week or so. And then they just called me from Davenport, Iowa yesterday. The guy that owns the semi-pro team back there, they want to do an honorary thing with all the athletes from around the area. And I'm the only world boxing champion from the state of Iowa, so they definitely want to have me there. And I think they got Jamie Williams, they got Pat Miletich. He's a former UFC champion. We fought, matter of fact, about 2 years ago. I wanted to do test my hands in the kickboxing, not so much the MMA, but it was like probably one of the worst mistakes I won, but I wanted to fight. But I'm like, I'm not doing that no more because I've always fought all my life. So it's a little different when you're boxing and kickboxing. And I just never thought kicks could hurt. But the only thing you got to do is just think about it. You got a guy like Henry Tillman, for instance. He's a big guy, he's heavyweight. He hits hard. So just imagine if he knew how to kick like he knew how to hit. But in my mind, I'm saying, well, he's a kicker. That's sissy. You know what I'm saying?
His feet can't be as strong as his hands.
No, wait. No. The legs are twice as strong as your arms. But you got to figure that out, right? Especially when you got a guy that knows what he's doing.
Right.
And Pat Miletich, he was one of the MMA champions. He was like the welterweight champion of the world. So, I mean, it wasn't no guy just went to the bar and said, you come on, let's fight here, have a couple drinks and give you a couple $100, we're going to fight. No, this is a well-trained, real fighter. And that's what I want to do is fight
he's
a
real
good guy.
Kick fight.
He's a real, I mean, he was 26-0 as a kickboxer. He was 31-9 as the MMA guy. So I'm the first guy to ever beat him. And like I say, he's a legend MMA fighter, but he was 26-0 as a kickboxer. And I was the first guy to beat him. So that's a crowning achievement moment. But
he was kicking too, right?
Yeah.
He better
I'm boxing. I'm doing what I do best. But look here, on the first round, I forgot that, you know, I'm so used to boxing, so I'm on the ropes like doing my Ali thing.
Right.
And he slid a kick on me. I said, oh, Lord, have mercy. You don't kick me again like that. Somebody give me a knife or a gun, man, because he got a weapon, man.
And Chann, he told me, he said, man, Henry, that dude kicking me so hard in my legs.
Listen, man, the man kicked me so hard in my leg, and I thank God for giving me the constitution and the strength to be able to withstand it. And once I realized that I'm not boxing, I'm kickboxing, let me get like Ali and start moving and put my jab on this guy here. I don't want to touch me no more. So the fight was supposed to go 6 rounds, but it ended up going 4. And at the end of 4 rounds, they went to the scorecard, and I had the most points, so they gave me the victory. I was glad that the fight was over. It was supposed to be 6 rounds.
Let me get the hell out of here.
Yeah, let me find something else to do,
I was
man.
cracking up. I said, boy, he crazy. Ain't nowhere in the world.
So, you know, but things been real good for me. And I mean, I'm very thankful for, you know, having a big enough name to be able to still generate money and do things of that nature. But, you know, it can be rough, like Henry's saying, you know, because when you make money, man, and, you know, when you're making a lot of money and you're spending money and you're not thinking about it, you know, it can put you in a real bad position.
Kind of money you haven't got yet.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know, because, you know, I mean.
I've done it. A lot of people have done it in the time, I'm sure. But
yeah,
I learned from it, though.
So, was there anybody around you, Michael, around you, Henry, that in the middle of your career said, listen, let me tell you about money and how it works and how
No.
it worked for you.
No.
Well, I think they told me it was a little bit too late, but I mean, I guess no time is, I mean, it was learned at a later stage, but I mean, you go through life to grow through it, and I learned a lot of valuable lessons, and I'm not mad at nobody because whatever I done to myself. So I mean, when I went to jail, I done it to myself. So I'm not no guy to sit around and pity party. You know what I'm saying? I get back in the pain.
I think what you're trying to figure out is like there's no kind of plan put in place for a guy, whether he's money literate or not, that certain amount of his money should go in some kind of like a pension fund or retirement fund or hospital fund. You know what I mean?
No,
and it's not. And,
every
place
a lot of times,
else
him
does
saying on
that.
fast cars, big houses, the girls, and all this that. So you have a tendency to get lost. So you need always professional people in your corner to put you on the right track, because when you're young and making a lot of money doing things, flying to Paris, flying here, flying there, doing this, you don't have a tendency to think your mind is on other things. But as you get older, you realize that ain't how life goes.
Mike, it's not just boxers that's
with
bad
their money. It's a lot. It's across the board.
It's across the board.
It's across the board.
No matter what you do, you know
Exactly.
It doesn't even have to be sports. It's just that
business. I mean, entrepreneurs. I mean,
but especially with us.
Oh yeah. They taught us. Mary had a little lamb. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall.
We learned the wrong thing.
They taught us that shit.
But the thing about it is that if you never came from it,
money,
and how to handle it, and there was no advisors around you,
none whatsoever,
that had your best interest,
or just a good example on what to do with money around
you. I've always felt this is why I have a love for you guys, for boxers, because of what you put on the line when you hit that ring.
Oh, it's rough.
There's no other sport.
Him and that other guy.
It's damn gladiators.
The referee's just intervening, but I mean, you and that other guy.
Yeah, but the other thing about it that made me really pay attention to you guys, where my heart started to crack, is the fact that some of the promoters that you guys were working with had no or none whatsoever best interest for you in terms of your mental, physical,
or
financial or spiritual well-being. It was all about these dudes that could fight, and I could make some money off of them.
That's all. It's just like a dog. When they fight the dog, they make sure the dog have water and the basic essentials, food.
Modern day gunfighter. I like to classify it as a modern day gunfighter because as long as you want to do what you're doing, you're okay. But like I say, you got to have yourself. You got to have people around you that have interest. Because the promoter's just a promoter. I mean, he's trying to make as much money as he can make.
Don King said, "I got my money. I don't know what they did with this."
Right.
So, did you guys ever work with Don?
I work with him. Yeah. And I mean,
see how it goes. Like this promoter, he might have Chann, Michael, Nunn, my man. This promoter might have me, my man there. That promoter might have that phone and that camera over there. Now these three promoters got to go back and forth with each other to try to get me to fight him, or you to fight him, or him to fight the camera. Or, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's how it goes. And they negotiate like that. And then the fighter, people saying the fight, I want this guy, I want that guy. But if a promoter think that he ain't gonna make no money with me and this camera fighting, he ain't gonna put no promotion money up for that. He ain't gonna even go to one of the big venues and say, "Look, I got Tillman in the camera."
What are
you gonna pay for that? It's no draw. We ain't gonna pay for nothing. Nobody know who camera is. Nobody know who Tillman is, whatever,
You got to generate a name.
Yeah.
Getting well known. He's got to beat somebody. He's got to get recognized. My thing is like, the promoter, he's got a job to do as well as the fighters, but you can't blame everything on the promoter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just being real. We know what the promoters do, and you got to know what you do. And I mean, when you get your money, you got to know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but if you don't, but if you've never been educated with money, you're not gonna know what to do with it. It's like them throwing you in an operating room just because you've seen needle and scissors before. Don't mean you know how to sew up a cut. You know what I mean? Yeah, I put a button on the shirt before, but I couldn't fix your eye.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, just experience with things, and a lot of people of color is not experienced in money.
That's right.
So Henry, when you look back on your career as a professional athlete, do you have any regrets, about one or two regrets?
Well, I wouldn't say regrets, but I think if I would have had the mindset that I have now, I would have did a few things different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that I would have taken money and did a few other different little things with it, opposed to what I did when I was getting. Because like I say, I was uneducated about money at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting all this money so fast. I ain't never had no money like this, you know.
You make it spend it.
Right. That's why I tell people, like in our days, a lot of these dudes say, man, how did you raise in South Central? You wasn't in a gang. You never was really on drugs or nothing like that. You know, we smoked a little weed and drunk a little wine or something, but we chip in. You know, it took 4 people. We put $1.25 to get $5 worth of weed, get 31 yellow zigzags joints out of it. We didn't have no money like these kids now. Like cocaine was $25 for a little thing, and 25, man, what? And you see that? You say you crazy. You can go get a whole bag of weed and split it up and smoke weed all for the rest of the week and get one of the winos from the store, go in there and get me a pagan pink or something like that, and he'd say, well, you doing like this. Got to bail Shorty out first.
Right, got bail Shorty out.
Yeah, got to bail Shorty out. Buy him a short dog, too.
Shorty out.
You know, back then, that was $1, you know.
Right.
But these kids now, man, they using drugs that you have to damn near get a prescription for. And it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, money brings on a change in everything, just like with the gangs now. These guys make money. They got all kind of weapons now. They got more guns than the police. Police got to go get armor to come with some of these cats, man. Yeah. It's like war.
Yeah. Michael, what about you?
Say it again.
So what about you now, in terms of the same question I asked?
Oh, yeah, well, you know, my thing is, you know, I went to jail allegedly for, they said I was a drug kingpin or whatever, just to get me incarcerated or whatever. But, you know, I had to see anybody use drugs, whether it's kids or elder people or whatever, you know, because it's something that is detrimental to your health, as we know. But, you know, when people are making money, they don't see those things.
True.
You know, I mean, whether you're an athlete or you're just a regular street guy or a businessman or
you won't listen to nobody.
And, you know, I mean, you know, we know drugs are bad for you, and if you use them long enough, they will destroy you. So, I mean.
So, I want to stay with the whole health thing also, talk about that for just a moment. Mentally, I've seen brothers, we all know, friends and brothers we know, who are mentally destroyed because of taking so many blows to their head that there's speech impediments, there are other psychological effects that have happened. But there doesn't seem to be an organization that's been put into place
to help these guys out.
Talk to me about that.
It's, you know, sad, it's tragic because, like
they have some.
They have some, but you just got to know where to go, you know what I'm saying? And they like, and then, you know, that's probably like a double-edged sword there because you got some guys that don't want to help or they don't want to go see the doctor, you know. It's like they say black men don't want to go to the doctor.
Right.
It's always great to go to the doctor, you know, to get checked out because we never know what could be going on in our bodies if we don't go get checked out. And I love going to the doctor. And, you know, I'm 60 years old. I'm 60 years young. And people tell me all the time, "This Mike, you look great for your age." I thank God for one thing, man, is protecting my Constitution. I got my faculties to be able to sit down and have this discussion with you, my man here, Mike, Henry. It makes me feel honored to be able to, you know, be able to talk, and then you can hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not stumbling.
But you know what,
I'm not knocking nobody else, but
those jails, they preserve you. I'm not saying go to jail, but if you have to, they preserve you.
And I must say, you know, I was in jail for 16 years, 6 months. You know,
16 years and 6 months. 16 years and 6 months.
But just think about it. When you're in that 16 years, 6 months, you don't have no bills. No. You don't have no woman heckling you. No. You don't have no job you have to go to.
You don't have a lot of your friends pulling you over here to go over there. You don't have this and that. You know, it's a haven in its own way. As long as you're doing something positive, productive while you're there. No,
Mike, I'm not saying there's nothing good about jail at all. Yeah. But I'm saying just so happens you just have to go there for whatever reason, whether it's your fault or not.
You know, get your constitution, get your mind right.
Yeah, so that's the thing about the time spent. So let's talk about that. Time spent on vacation.
That's what it was, vacation. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
time
But
spent on vacation.
in the meantime, you got to be doing the right thing while you're on vacation. There's drugs, there's gambling, there's
Everything in there.
homosexuality, there's all that stuff in prison. Don't think it ain't, because it is. And it's what you do when you get there, because when you get there, it's just a big old open dorm to whatever you want to do. You want to gang bang, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to rape the women.
It's nothing but a city within a city.
It's a city within a city.
That's all it is.
It's just that you're more confined than anything. It's like it's a big old open city. You know, you got this gang over here, you got this gang over here, you know, and it's all about, you know, there's a lot of political stuff going on, but you got to know how to stay in your lane.
Everything
I'm there to
you
do
do
one thing.
is
It's my
under that
time.
light like
Go
that.
home. There's a spotlight.
You know.
The feds got cameras everywhere.
Everywhere.
You stab a dude or whatever you think you get away with, they come get you.
They come get you because they see you.
And then they got more people telling than anything. They got the cameras, but they got the cameras and the guy telling. So
can you tell me a little bit about what happened in the youth authority? A little bit.
Well, when I went there, I was on the football team. Me and Monster Cody, we was on the football team.
Right.
Yeah, we was in there together.
Right.
We was on the football team together. And then so when the football season was over, I just went from there because it kept me out of trouble, sports.
Sure.
Now, like, see, all my brothers and all them, they were really good in sports. I probably was the worst athlete in my family. They all played school, college, and all that stuff.
Now, I met your brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were about the business.
Yeah, they was about it.
They was about it.
But I only played park and rec. You know what I mean?
You were park and rec.
Park and rec. I never played the high school thing, none of that. I just
And
played
they
at the
did.
park. Yeah, at the park and rec.
Yeah,
you know,
they did.
team post, you know,
Yeah,
stuff like that. You
yeah.
know, never box. We used to be in the backyard. Pops buy boxing gloves every year, and we be back there. As soon as Pops hear everybody back there arguing, whatever, he bring them gloves out.
get them up.
Wet that toilet paper, the toilet paper up, stick it in your mouth, and we had it used to be an old, like a house, but not a house, but like a playhouse or something, but it burned down, but the steel frame was still there. So he tied ropes around that. That was the rig. It was dirt.
That was the ring.
That was the rig. And we had a basketball court right over here, dirt. And so it was always something to do. You know, we see all play sports. So I was an athlete, but I just wasn't on paper as an athlete.
Right.
But I can play all sports. I even wrestled for a little while when I was little. And I was like in junior high school.
So during time, where would your mind go sometimes?
Well, I used to read a lot. I used to read a lot of different books. I probably read over 3,000-4,000 books while I was in there, and only about 300 of them was fiction. Because that was like a video to me.
Right.
I get like some of them Lewis Lamar books, the paperback, 300 or 400 pages. I read them in one night, but all night and read them. Get up in the morning, go to the yards, and come back. But I mean, it's everybody do time different. I just know that there's one key in doing time is keep your mouth shut, stay out of people's business, and keep people out of your business.
Exactly.
And don't say stuff to people that you're not gonna do. You know,
You got to back it up.
Oh, you got to scream if you got to mean it. You know what I mean?
If you
That's one
scream
thing
it, you
about
got to
jail.
mean it.
It teaches you
Right.
a lot of respect. You know what I mean?
it teaches you respect.
I mean, and that's the way it's supposed to be, because a lot of times, you know, you got things going on in jail. If it ain't none of your business, it ain't none of your business. It's like the streets, you know what I'm saying? You shouldn't care what no man does. You know what I'm saying? And if you do, you get in his business, you're going to deal with it one way or another.
Right.
And if you dealing with the gangs, it's even worse or whatever. But, you mind your business, you do your time, and try to come home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, Michael, where would your mind go?
All kind of different places. I'd be laying up in the bed at night on a Friday night. I'd be like, damn, I'm in jail. I'm supposed to be at home laying next to my old lady, having some fun. I'm laying up in there with another man and, can't do nothing but look crazy. Because once they lock you in at 10 o'clock, it's over with, man. I mean, hey, you locked in until about 6 o'clock the next morning. So, you know what I mean? Being in jail, it teaches you a lot. Like Henry said, it teaches you one thing, not to go back to jail, because everything I want is out here. There's nothing in jail.
Some people learn not to go, because I mean, I've been to every juvenile hall, LP, Scott and Scudder, Camp Munns, Camp Finner. I was basically state raised with a mother and father and a family. That's the only thing pretty much saved me.
Right.
I always had somewhere to come home to with a loving family, and and just nourished me and just kept me. I was all my big ideas. Mama used to say, "That's all your big idea. There ain't nobody need to taught you none that you do.
Yeah, you done that on your own time.
That's all you.
That's why you got to go to jail and do your time.
But they never would like that. My mother would come visit me. My father come visit me. They every now and then drag one of my brothers down there by the ear, make them come see me. But and so I never was really caught up in that institutionalized thing. You know, I never got in the gang stuff because I respect my parents too much. Yeah. They always say, "Don't get no gang." My oldest brother was the only one fool with the street stuff like that. You know, but he wouldn't let us do it though. He heard, "Oh man, we're gonna put Baby on." That was my nickname. He said, "What?" He go there and say, "Put me on, put me on." And so that was a wrap on that. So it never came with us with none of that no more. So you know, and the drug thing, we didn't have no money about drugs.
I hear. Michael, so how was your family foundation?
My family foundation was great. I had a real strong mother, let her rest in peace. I mean, she always taught me to be stoic and strong and, you know, work hard and have a good, strong mental attitude and always believe that you can do whatever you want as long as you're willing to work hard for it. So, I mean, I credit my mom and God for all my success because I mean, one of them I wouldn't be here, but even my father. But back to my mother, she was probably my most
supportive, motivator.
The most supportive person in the world. Because when I was a little young kid, I'd be watching Sugar Ray them fight at Caesar's Palace, and I'd tell my mom, "Hey, Mom, when I turn pro, I'm gonna buy you a house and I'm gonna do all this stuff." And a mother, she's always gonna like, "Baby, you know, you're gonna do all that what you say you're gonna do. Just always work hard and pray and don't let nobody tell you what you can't do." So when I was able to do those things, that was like probably the greatest thing that God could ever put upon me to be able to do these things for my mother. And I think I credit her for whatever I've done because, you know, she worked hard to not just take care of me, my sister, my older brother, who just passed away February 15th of this year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you very much. But like I say, it was my brother and my mother because I had a big brother, and like I say, he was spoiled like, "You want to box?" And he was always big and strong. He was just
all in Vegas too.
And he would tell me, we just all together. But like I said, we'd be like boxing and say, "Yeah, man, you get ready to fight the Golden Gloves, man. You're going to be fighting big, strong guys." He would hit me, but he wouldn't hit me because he weighed 250 pounds. And I'm like, 100-something pounds? But he wasn't trying to hurt me. But he let me know, "Man, hey, little brother, you going to box, man. It's going to be guys in there that hit like a mule kicking. So I'm going to prepare you." But I mean, he would pull the punches back, but he let me know, man. He said, "Look, if you want to fight, man," he toughened me up and got me ready for it. So got me ready.
So you mentioned something. I'm going to go back to something you mentioned. We all have had losses.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yes, sir.
And I'm talking about parents.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've lost my parents in the last 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
You met my father?
Yes, of course. Yeah. And though they've been gone 5 years, I have still not been able to get over.
You don't live a lifetime, never, man. Especially when you had a parent that was always been there for you. Right. I mean, through thick and thin, whatever I done, my mother was always there for me before anybody. So her and God. So I mean, hey, she was there through thick and thin. So I mean, that's my greatest motivator.
So as men, how do we deal with that? Because I don't know how often your mother comes to you or in a dream.
Right. When I'm doing something silly, shit, boy, you better straighten it up.
Every day.
Straighten it up.
Slap your side head.
Yeah.
Make you get back on the right track. So we all need that. You know what I'm saying?
What about you, Henry?
You know how I deal with it though, with losing my mother and father.
Right.
And raised up with both, loved them dearly, and come from a good family. Is that we talk about them all the time.
So you keep the spirit alive.
Yeah, you keep them alive. You don't let them die. You know what I mean? And that's what we talk. We like me and my brother, my oldest brother. We always tell a little joke. Cause my mother used to always say when you get in trouble and you would call her or something, and she say, "Yeah, that was all your big old idea." Cause my mother didn't curse, but she was the funniest one-liner you would have ever met. And she would always say, "That was all your big idea. I told you how to go down there and do it."
No, you was hard and you done it your way.
Don't come in there with your mouth stuck all out. You
mad at yourself, Joe.
I say, boy, you said it to my oldest brother, he'll fall on the floor laughing. You say, "Boy, Mama was a beast, boy." He said, "I told you don't go in there with all that nonsense. Yeah. It's all your big old idea."
So let's talk about our fathers for a moment and how important or not important our fathers were to us. If our fathers were there, our fathers were not there. Michael, where did your father stand in your life?
I never really knew my father. But I was fortunate enough to have some cousins, my mother's,
Male figures.
that was, hardworking, strong, stoic, strong black man that didn't take no shit. I got a cousin by the name of Marshall Jackson. If I call him right now, you thought this guy was John Gotti. But what it was, he was just older than me, and he seemed to have a lot of talent. And he's one I give a lot of credit to, too, because as a young kid growing up in Davenport, Iowa, running wild, doing what I want to do, because wasn't nobody telling me what to do, other than my mother.
Right.
Anybody else, like, hey, we ain't dealing with this dude. I'm saying, he, he's that guy, whatever. But, Marshall Jackson, my cousin, he's 70-something years old. I think Marshall just turned into 74, 75, but real stoic. He retired from the railroad. He didn't take no shit from me or nobody in the family. And, he knew he's my cousin, but he's like an uncle to me. Yeah, he's a cousin. He's older. Yeah. And I always had respect for him because when I was out in the street doing a lot of wild stuff, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he had to go to work like at 3 o'clock in the morning on the railroad, and he would stop down on the strip, this place where all the people hang out at, they gambling, they selling dope, everything went on. There was a community in the neighborhood. I mean, everything going on. So I never knew him. Like, how the hell this man know I'm down here? He had some friends, listen, his partners, his older partners, when they see me cutting up, they get on the phone, go call him, hey, man, he down there getting ready to fight, or they down there cutting up or whatever. So he would come down and get me. And they say, Mike, they're Marshall. I said, where? And I'm like, how the hell this man know I'm down here?
Hey,
but they were smart.
He had spies.
No, that's what it was. But see, I'm training for the Olympics and stuff. They want to see me go to the Olympics and prosper and do well. Right. So they're like, well, he would come down there and I see this guy. I said, what the hell Marshall doing now? It's 3:30 in the morning. He's supposed to be at work. He come to get me. Hey, man, he hit the horn. I go, hey, what's that? What you doing? Hey, man, get in the car, man. Hey, man, check this out, man. I'm going to drop you off, man. You better not come back out the house till the sun come up, right? And I'm trying to figure out, how the hell this man know? But they had a coalition of him and some of his partners. When they see me out there acting a fool, they drop dime on me. And he come down there and get me, man. But I'm real thankful for Marshall, because without him, I don't know where I would be. And my mother loved him because he's like a strong, like a father figure, even though he's a relative. But the man, most of the things I've accomplished in life is because of him and my mom. Because he kept me on point as far as from a male perspective. And then my mom was always there for me as a mother. So I'm very thankful for them two individuals. They had a big brother, didn't take no shit. So when I done something wrong, he had no problem stepping to me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, there was gangs in the community, but he's like, you ain't no gang. You the gang, you ain't no gang.
Yeah, you the gang.
We had partners that got down or whatever, but that was their business. You do what you got to do, man, and just stay down and you're going to get your blessing. And when I finally got my blessing and knew that was my thing to be a boxer, I went on and took it to the highest level. But I got to thank Marshall Jackson and Miss Matus now, because without them, I don't know where I would be, because like I say, I'm many nights. I can call Red now, call his wife, and she's telling him, Marshall, give him a break. But I'm glad he was disciplining on me like a military general, because he kept me straight. Even to this day now, I can look back and resonate like, wow, everything I've done was because, he helped keep me on the right track, because I could have been dead or in the penitentiary a long time ago without his tutelage and his guidance. So I'm very thankful for Marshall. Him and my mother, my two greatest inspirators. So, yeah, and my big brother.
Dad?
Oh, yeah, well, you met my father. That's why, my father, he was just a man. He's
a man's man, for sure.
He's a man's man. He just,
for sure.
He let you be a boy. He didn't all that fall down. He'd look at you and you look at him. He'd be like,
what you gonna do?
You be
right now.
You better suck it up, boy. You better not cry. You just like fall off your bike or something. But also too, he taught us, because 5 boys, 1 girl.
Right.
Excuse me. So he taught us that, your brother is your brother's, that's your world. Like, I've never had a fight with none of my brothers. None of us never had a fight. I mean, we wrestled, made a joker tap out, holler uncle or whatever, like, but for all that, like, walking in, my lip busted, or your eyes swole, who did that to you? Yo, who? Oh, no.
That's not going to happen.
Go tell him I said, come in here right now. But it never happened, though. But, right. I mean, I already know what would have happened if something like that would have happened. But, I mean, we prayed around enough and wrestled enough there, and that was really just sparring for us to keep you ready. Because, like I say, Papa, we got boxing gloves. I don't care what you asked for. If you wanted a wagon or skates or whatever it was, and a pair of boxing gloves was coming with it, too. Automatic. And he made us spar with each other. I mean, just learn how to hold your hands up. That's how we learn how to fight, like in the street. Not boxing. I hadn't boxed. I got the YA. Never actually in the ring.
Right.
But my father, he was inspirational because I would see him get up every morning,
Go to
or
work.
him anyway, because I wouldn't be up. He'd get up 4 o'clock in the morning,
And go to work.
make his own lunch, go to work, come back, and like during the week, all you just seen him leave if you up or come back if you home.
Mm-hmm.
But on Saturdays, we owned him. He took us to the parks, swimming, and all of us played sports. So he went to games all day. He was lucky if we played at the same park that day. You know what I mean? And so a few of us played at the same park. Then he had to do all that driving. But other than that, Sunday, he gone. He get up, go get a haircut, he get sharp, come back and go shoot pool, whatever he do, come back a little sauced up, and that was it. And get up Monday, start it all over again. But he was just a hard-working man. He just didn't play around. He laughs. He liked a good joke every now and then, but you didn't see my father walk around drunk or cursing and, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
gazing at women. I don't know what he did away from home, but when he was around the house or around the neighborhood or anything, always just respect. Because he knew my mother and father, too.
Yeah.
From now, we was all amateurs together.
We go back 35, 40 years ago. So
Yeah.
we go back a
That's
long
family.
time.
Yeah.
That's family, Mike.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man.
That's family.
And we met at the...
And you know what I think the big difference with the kids today than how we were raised? Like, my mother and father knew all my friends' parents.
Well, that was the time.
Yeah, when you walk up with somebody
Yeah.
you knew, the first thing they say,
Who
who's
your
that?
parents?
Yeah, who's your parents?
Who your
It's in the neighborhood.
Exactly right.
They go around the corner.
Exactly, Mike.
Oh, that's your mother?
Oh,
Your
yeah,
mom walking on the
yeah,
right.
yeah.
She gonna stop by you.
Yeah.
How you doing, Miss Jackson?
That's how they knew when you was doing stuff. Like your mother, you get a punishment. Like the coach of the department, Mr. Biscoe, back then, he would call your house. Yeah, Henry up here cutting up the people table, blah blah blah. So you come home,
You gonna get it.
you got a restriction. You can't go to the park for 2 days, whatever. You better not go to the park. And you sneak up there somehow. You go way around and come back the other ways. And you wonder, and then you come home and I'm gonna say, what you do today? Oh, nothing, just, my friend, you mumble something. Speak up, I can't hear you. In fact, come here.
No, you're lying.
You try to walk to the back of the house fast, you can't. Because they look at you, tell you lying, boy. And so she said, in fact, come here. I come back and she say, did you go to the park? I'm gonna ask you flat out. You getting ready to lie.
You getting ready to lie.
Getting ready to lie.
I see it on your face.
Devil, that's right.
Getting ready to lie.
You get ready to lie. I see it on your face
And
coming.
then she'll tell you exactly who you was with. You was up there, you, Andre, Nardi, and then later on, Kenny LaFleur came by and you going, God damn. I used to think my mother was a witch. I said, this lady's a witch, man. How she know all this? But the parent, they call each other.
Yes.
The neighborhood mom.
That's
Tell me
right.
if you see Henry at the park, because he ain't supposed to be up there for a couple of days. He got into it with Mr. Biscoe the other day, so I told him you can't go up there. Yeah. Okay. So when they son come home, did you see Henry today? Yeah, we were playing caroms or whatever. At the park. They go to call it. Because back then it wasn't no three-way.
No.
If somebody on the phone, you just get deep.
That's
you
right.
just keep calling to this.
Right.
It was busy. It was
Technology done changed.
it, technology. It has.
Yeah.
So, Michael, 58-4.
Yeah.
What was your best opponent?
All of them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, all of them, man. I mean,
Because you
people
learned
ask me that all the time.
because you learned something from all of
Well,
them.
even if your wins, your losses, you got to always learn something. That's what it's all about.
Okay.
I mean, to be a champion is to be able to get knocked down and be able to get back up. But even the guys I beat, I learned something from them because they taught me about preparation, being prepared, all that. So I learned something from all of them. You know? But if you want to just break it down, I fought, I think, 7 world champions, knocked out 5 of them. They were probably my biggest opponents. But even the other guys that was coming up that I had to go through to get to that level were tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say they wasn't because there's no such thing as easy fight. Oh, that guy's easy fight. There's no such thing as that. Anytime you got to go to training camp to mentally, physically, spiritually get prepared for a fight, it's not easy because there's days that I went to training camp and I can call my trainer right now. I mean, I was a beast, but guess what? There's times I come to the gym and didn't want to train.
Right.
And one thing about the trainer, he always knew. He said, well, we got 6 weeks, so if you miss a day, it's not going to hurt. My trainer, Joe Goose, used to tell me, he said, I tell you what, Nunn, you don't feel good. He said, stretch out a little bit and shadow box a little bit. He said, and see how you feel. He knew once I got the sweat. Look here, it just goes to show how psychological they are. But we need that because it's so easy to stop and quit when, your body say, don't do nothing. No, I'm going to stop. I don't want to do nothing. You always need somebody to motivate you. So that's why I give credit to whoever helped me.
Right.
My trainers, my brother, my sisters, my sparring partners, and, you share the wealth with everybody. And like many days, he would tell me I come to the gym, I might have been out late or something, might have had a drink or something, or whatever the case might have been. And I get to the gym and he see me like lagging around. He said, "What's going on now? Man, I'm cool, man. I don't really feel like training." He said, "I tell you what, man, go over there and like jump rope and shadow box." And he knew me once I started sweating. Now I'm on. So hey, Nunn, I thought you said you was a little windy today. And man, no, I'm training, man. But you need that type of motivation. And I always had that. So that was great.
25-6.
Hey, great record. Great.
It's the same question.
Yes.
It's no such thing as an easy fight.
No.
Because you got 8 to 10 to 11, 12 weeks of training camp, depending on who you're fighting. Whether you're fighting for a belt or something like that.
It's a level of competition.
Tyson, I was camped for 12 weeks. Holyfield, I was in camp for 10 weeks.
A long time.
Because I had already had fights before that with Holyfield.
Right.
But I hadn't fought. So, yes, I did. It was one of them ways. It was either 10 weeks with Tyson or 10 weeks with Holyfield and 12 with the other, one or two. But you still have 4 sparring partners because you're fighting for 12 rounds. So eventually you're going to go 12 rounds a few times in training camp. So
it's a must.
One guy get in, go 3, get out. Another guy get in, go 3, get out. Another guy get in, go 3, get out. Another guy go in, 3, get out. So every 9 minutes, you got to get back up like it's the first minute.
And you fighting somebody fresh.
Fresh.
Every
3 minutes.
That's
every
right.
3 rounds.
If somebody,
A fresh guy getting in and sitting waiting.
Yeah, waiting
You
on
don't do 1,000 punches.
Exactly
He ain't
right.
No punches, so he's fresh.
Yeah. So
And that's, to me, that's hard. And
That's where the mental toughness come in at.
but
it's got to be, Michael.
Yeah, it gotta be.
but pros was easier for me. Amateurs was hard. I thought harder than pros for me.
You fought so regular.
And not only that,
Tournaments.
it's just that you don't know who you're fighting. You're in a tournament.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if the guy big as that glass or tall as the telephone pole or fat as or whatever. You just go, you got to wait. You look at the bracket like everybody else. Wait, see what name they write that you fighting. You go to weigh in. And then you fight every day. In them tournaments, you fight every day.
I'd have to fight
You fight
5
Monday,
times.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday, fight Saturday in the finals.
Yeah.
Your knuckles sore, your jaw hit a clicking, getting hit on your jaw or whatever. You might have a headache. It's all kind of stuff going on. Your shoulder be sore, And I fought all short bruises because I was just a pure boxer with a decent, pretty good right hand and an excellent jab. But other than that, everybody I fought was killers. Short, strong, buff, hitting hard, trying to knock my head off. Because everybody trying to make the Olympic team.
Right.
Because I started boxing, 81? 81 said 82, about 81.
81.
81.
Yeah, because you did the Olympics in 84.
84, because I left from
Because that's here in L.A.
Right.
LA.
I was saying,
Both of you guys here in L.A.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that for a moment. How is it to be in the Olympics, the game of all games, the event of all events on the planet? How did that feel?
Well, I was an alternate on the 1984 Olympic team. It was real big for me because, I came from Iowa. So for me to be an alternate on the 1984 Olympic team, probably one of the greatest Olympic boxing teams ever.
Agreed.
To be a part of that was just
Facts.
out of the world. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? With the Mark Brelands, the Henry Tillmans, the Pernell Whitakers, the
That's right.
Melder Taylors,
Incredible
Terrell
team.
so many great fighters. Man.
Yes.
The Paul Gonzalez's even. Just so many just great fighters. Jerry Page, just being a part of it. And all those Olympic athletes and all those coaches, and they still had a relationship with them guys. Just, man, it's like a dream come true to me because I'm from Iowa. These guys from the big city, and so it's a little different from me.
Right.
I'm from Iowa, so it's like it's mind-boggling to me to be a part of the 1984 Olympic boxing team with such a great team with Henry and the rest of the guys, Mark Breland, man. It was just like, wow, I was a part of that history, And I'm
you're part of history.
and it motivated me to even want to do even better as a pro after seeing them guys do what they done. So just wonderful.
You mentioned. I'm gonna go back to you for just a moment about the Olympics. You mentioned something here. Do you know how many people come to the planet, Nunn, and don't have anything to leave but breath?
Wow.
They don't leave a footprint, positive footprint. But Michael Nunn will be always in the books of history, not only in America, but in the world.
Yeah.
That's not a thing that everybody can do and has done or will ever do. you're one of the chosen few. So being one of those chosen few, and you a black man too?
It's astonishing, man. I mean,
it really is, Michael.
It's mind-boggling, you know what I'm saying?
It really is that you have done what you have done.
Yeah.
And what's so deep about that you have come out of what you've come out of to even do it again.
Right. It makes you feel good, and I'm just blessed, and makes me just go harder every day, man. I mean, it's the soldier in me that make me want to just keep going.
But do you understand?
Not giving up. Oh, yeah, I understand everything you're saying.
No, this part. You have to understand how much of a gift you are to us. That's the thing.
Yeah, and that's big. And like I said, you want to leave your mark. It's bigger than me, so yeah.
And it's bigger than you.
Yeah, because I got my grandkids and stuff. They playing sports now, and it makes me feel good to say, hey, man, you guys can do it. But you got to work hard and have the right attitude, listen to your coach, and, do all the right things, because you're going to get the opportunity.
Look at the barometer they have to measure. I mean, it's you.
Yeah.
So Henry, going back to the Olympics, you going to the Olympics. I mean, how does that feel?
Well, my whole case is different. That's why I think it gets people wondering about it, because I was just new. I'm pretty much like an amateur in boxing. They just don't know how, and what I really think that was in my favor was I didn't know what I was getting involved in. I didn't know that much about the Olympics. I didn't know that much about boxing. And I think I wasn't intimidated about nothing or nobody because I didn't know.
Right.
So there was no intimidation there. Right. Like I know now, because they took me and educated me, taught me all about the Olympics, what it mean to be an Olympian, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, America can do what they want to do when they want to do it. I got out of YA December the 7th, 1984, when they released me. And they let me go home for 6 days, and I was in Colorado Springs. This is after we came back from the Nationals.
Okay.
When I came back from there, because, like, to start their sex, I ain't supposed to say all this, but hell with it. See, when I went to the Nationals, I only had 10 fights, all behind the wall.
That's right.
So when we got there, I didn't know nothing about boxing other than with the little 10 fights in there. When I got all these guys all know. They all been fighting, and Mark Breedlins, but I didn't know who nobody was. I didn't know about boxing. I knew Ali like that, but other than that, nothing. And so I'm just there. And they come around, they say, well, you only had 10 fights? I said, yeah. I said, wow. They say, because back then, 10 fights, you can go open. It was called open division. Anything less than 10, you're a novice. Mm-hmm. You can't fight a guy with 10 fights if you only got 9. Right. And so everybody waiting on the bracket. Remember the bracket thing? I didn't know what none of that was. I'd never done this before. I had no tournament.
Waiting on the brackets?
Didn't know nothing about it at the time. Right. So everybody outside in the hallway where they had the brackets up and they writing the names in, who's going to fight who. So everybody going, man, who is Henry Tillman? Why you keep asking me who am I? He said, don't worry about it. And so next day come up, Henry Tillman versus Elmer Bigfoot Martin from the Navy. So,
Elmer Bigfoot Martin.
That was his name.
From the Navy.
He just died about a year ago, I think.
About a year ago, past year.
We got arrested.
That was the first fight.
Navy guy.
My first fight there. So I don't know nothing. And so God's gonna say, you fighting Martin. I said, okay. And then I saw him. He kind of a fair, light-skinned guy. He was short. Most of them guys was short. I was big back then. I'm a little heavyweight today, but back then I was big. And so he came, he was about, 6 feet maybe? 5'11"? 5'11", about Tyson's height maybe.
Strong,
buff.
Navy guy.
Navy guy, yeah. And so he had 187 fights. He had like 16 losses, about 93 knockouts. He had more losses than I had fights. But I didn't know, none of this meant nothing to me at the time.
Sure.
Well, that's why I say sometimes not knowing is better for you. It keeps you from
less worry.
Going through all this stuff within
less
yourself.
worry.
And I think that's kind of what happened with me.
Right.
So I'm up at the fight, because back then, remember how the heavyweights always fought last.
Always last.
So we sitting around the ring, I'm waiting. So when I get to my fight, everybody's around our ring. So like I said, I know nothing. So I don't know this is not usual. Everybody want to see the sacrificial lamb get killed, and he just won the Nationals in '81. He's the regional national champion. He just won. He so basically everybody trying to beat him.
Yeah.
So they put me with him. When I get in there, I'm fighting. I beat the stuffing out of him. And that's when Pat Napper, he was the head coach of the 84 Olympic team.
Mm-hmm.
He ran up to me and said, "There's a typo in your record." I'm looking at me like, what the hell is this man? I didn't know no damn typo was. I don't know how to type.
Wow. The word typo, what typo?
I'm looking at Smitty like, I'm looking at Smitty, what are you talking about? He said, you know, what's your record? It's got to be more than 10. I said, no, it's my 11th fight, sir. And he go, remember them cigars? He used to have them cigars all the time.
Yeah. Mr. Pat,
I said, oh, man. I'm in trouble. Because remember, I'm in jail.
That's right.
I'm in youth authority.
Mm-hmm.
If I get out of Smitty eyesight, I'm AWOL.
Right.
I can go straight. By rights, I'm AWOL.
Right.
And so Smitty said, "Come on, you all right? You all right?" I said, "What's wrong, man?" I said, I did win, didn't I? He said, "Yeah, you won." He said, "That's why he's talking to you." So I didn't think too much of it. So later on, I'm fighting, and so Smitty was this girl that worked there. She was like a candy stripe, not a candy stripe, but a maid or whatever. Mm-hmm. But she was about 23. She was a little bit older than me, a year or two. I said, Smitty. She really said, "You trying to win this?" Because then I beat another guy I wasn't supposed to beat. Mm-hmm. He said, "Man, you trying to win this thing?" I said, "Man," "You told me I could give it that girl," but he really did that. I just said, he said, "What?" He said, I said, "Yes, you did." Smitty said, "Come on." He said, "I tell you what, you win this, I give you 1 round with that girl in the room." Remember, I've been down 2 years. I ain't had touched the woman. So I'm ready to go. So I'm fighting. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. He ready to blast off.
I'm ready to kill something. Hey, and so after the fight, it was a lady. First time they let a lady judge be a judge in a national tournament. Mm-hmm. She did, like I said, I was unknown. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew me. Right. She gave him all my score because I was just beating these guys with boxing, and I'm in tip-top shape. I ain't had no woman, no nothing, no drink, no nothing. Mm-hmm. All I'm doing is training in jail.
Right.
And they had a gym, a ring, everything. So anyway, he said, "Well, you know, son," he would call me son when he gets serious, "Son, well, you know, my job, blah." I said, "Oh, man, I ain't never fighting again. It's all bullshit, man." I said, "I'm gone." I said, "Man, don't we go back after you lose? You got to go." He said, "No, they don't want you to go back. They want you to stay to learn the experience of a tournament." Because by this, and so I said, "Man, I want to go." So I stayed because they used to ask me, "Let's go to the mall or something." I said, "No, I don't feel like it, man, today," because I couldn't.
Mm-hmm. We didn't know.
I would have to take him. They didn't know I was in jail. None of them knew. Holyfield,
I just found out
knew.
probably since I moved to California, 30-something years.
Holyfield.
That's when you found out, Michael?
Yeah, no, that he was in
the Nationals. I was in jail.
Right. I never knew that Smitty was like his bodyguard, his protector. He was in the youth authority here in California.
Right.
You know
how Smitty went is that our region paid for me to go. Right. Mm-hmm. You know, because I made the team. Right. And that was strange because they had to go through a bunch of stuff like that because I was in jail for a gun with a robbery. Mm-hmm. You know, a violent crime as they call it, you know, but it wasn't really all that. I explained that's another whole thing. I can't talk about that anyway. Because like I said, it's coming out. Right. But this little part is really nothing. But Smitty would be everywhere I go. And they was, "Come on, man, let's go hang out. Let's go to the mall. Let's catch the bus, a cab, go to the mall.
I'll go get something.
Go get something. I said, I'm cool, man. You know, I got to make weight. I didn't have no weight problem. But I was too. This is the first time I was ever embarrassed in my life about being like a bad boy. You know, jail was like an honor badge in the neighborhood. Man, you know, man, look, man, baby just got out of camp, man. He on swole. You know, like they was like that, you know. And now I'm embarrassed because all these guys is on the ball, but they fighting. Everybody know who they are. Nobody know me or nothing. I ain't nothing. Now I don't want to tell them I'm a jailbird. So I said, "No, man, because they would say, man, what the YTS mean?" Because people had their club shirt on, right? I said, "Me, youth training school." And so we kept fighting Smitty anyway. We went back. And Smitty was arguing. I didn't say that when I went there, he didn't handcuff me. On the way back, he handcuffed me. So I said, "Yeah, I'm in trouble." Like I walk in the door, I see my mother, and my father, and my sister standing there. I said, "Oh shit!" They finna talk to my mother because they had to talk to your parents. They had to sign for you to go in there because the prison is the real big prison. Is where dudes doing life. It's right next door. A chain link fence separate that from YTS. Right. You know, you can stay at YTS, what they call juvenile life back there, till you're 25. That's basically what I had. And so I saw my parents, I said, "Oh boy, here we go." And then finally God said, "Congratulations." Shook my hand. I'm like, What, I'm getting ready to go to Cheeto? I said, look, I'm supposed to be happy or what?
Right.
He said, no, man, you going home, man. You going home. As of right now, you free. No probation, no parole, no nothing.
Bless him.
I said, man,
Yes.
come on, man, don't play with me. He said, why you think your mother father here? They're taking you home. Man, I ran back to my cell, was giving all my, I think all I kept was my pictures and my old meal.
That's all you don't want to know. She leaves stuff with the guys.
Yeah, they had a little party and everything. It was real cool, man. I was like, whoa. I went home 6 days and went to Colorado. First person I meet, I come in my bag. I got braids in my hair, rubber bands on them, bopping down through there. Here come Valerie Briscoe Hooks. She said, where you from? I said, where you from? Because that was, you know, I'm just fresh out of jail. You don't ask nobody that. Where you from? Where you from? Where you want me from? It's like that, you know. She said, no, I mean, like, you know, where you from? Like, from Colorado? I said, no, from L.A. She said, South Central? I said, yep. She said, I knew it. Just like that. Just start walking on. God, this crazy-ass girl. She said, I knew you was from South Central. And she just started talking to me like she was my sister. You better watch it. Take care of yourself. You got a good opportunity. Blah, 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 blah. You know, just like a big sister. Just took me under the wing. And we tight to this very moment.
Yeah, all of us. Yeah.
Very moment. People always thought me and Valerie had something going on.
Right.
I ain't never touched. I ain't never even tried. Well, I ain't gonna lie, I did one time, but I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we didn't, man. One time, I'm glad we didn't. I know I could have.
But I'm glad you didn't.
I did. I am, because we probably wouldn't be friends to the day.
Exactly.
She would want to go further on with the relationship part, opposed to the friendship part. So I'm glad to this very day. I swear to God, I'm glad.
So listen, we've got only a few minutes left, and I want to end with this question. Michael, I'll go back to you.
Yes, sir.
When it's all said and done, and God says, "Hey, Mike, I need you to come home," what do you want people to remind you?
I just know that I was not just a great fighter, but just a great man. You know, worked hard, earned everything he got, and was always taught to be the best I could be. And just never quit, just never give up. It's always be down. Just be stoic about your business, be serious, be held accountable for whatever you do, your actions. And like Henry say, always just be a man, no matter what you do. Always be a man.
Whether it's for you or against you.
I mean, you know, you give it, you receive it, and you keep it moving. You know.
Henry, what about you?
Well, I just try to want to be an example, just like the prophets were examples. You know, it's like people say Jesus is God and all that. There's not one book in the Bible, no Bible I ever read that say the book of Jesus. He don't have a book nowhere. He's an example. He was sent here as an upright man to show you how to be a good man. That was his job. He walked around without fear. And I try to do the same thing. Like people say, well, you got boxing out of jail. I said, no, I got a high school diploma out of jail. I got my business degree. I took total advantage of the situation. I didn't serve no time. I made time serve me. You know, when I came home ready to be an upright man. I went in just a man. You know, a young man rather. But when I came out prepared to deal with what's going on out here. You know, so whether I box or not, I'm a certified welder. I took a welder in there. I can heat him overhead, gas in the shield. I can do all that. Meg TEG. I can do soldering. I was getting ready to take up deep sea underwater welding and go get a job at St. Peter. I just never had to use it because I started fighting. You know what I mean? So I don't just say boxing is just the thing. It's probably one of the best things that happened to me for is like where I just look at it like this. Boxing to me is made to where I can just help more people because people are listening to you now. Opposing you just walking up and saying, yeah, you know,
I can do this and do that.
Yeah, right. But when you walk up and say, I'm a champion,
they're going to listen.
They're going to listen. And so, and I think that's part of my duty as a person, especially as a man of color, a black man in America, is to try to guide as many people as I can to the right side of just being a good person. Whether they black, white, Latino, whatever, just be an example. And that's the best you can do on this earth and leave with that.
So that's a great way to end this show on being the best you could possibly be because you were sent here to be the best.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's your purpose.
Yeah.
That's your purpose. You were sent here to be the best.
Sure.
So, Michael, second to none, I am blessed by your presence, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
And I thank you for having us.
Man. Henry, you know, I love you to the core, bro.
Oh man, come on.
I love you to the core, and thank you so much for contacting Michael. And I've always wanted to be in his presence.
Thank you.
And anything that I can help with.
I don't know why I thought I had introduced y'all before, but I guess I didn't.
No,
I think that was Charles.
I remember your face and then your name was, I mean, Chann. So like, it ain't Chad. So I'm like, when he said it, I said, I don't know him. I said, probably got to see his face because the man done, since what happened, before I moved to California, I called him. What's up, man? What's up? Oh, I'm ready to move to California. All right, so, man, as soon as you touch down, holler, because we hadn't seen each other. We was in communication just over the Facebook and the phone.
Right.
And we hooked up. I mean, it's always been a blessing. But like I said, we go back. I mean, we was in our 20s, and now I'm 60. He's in his, 40 years. We've known each other.
40 plus years.
Yeah, exactly.
40 plus
and he's always been a solid,
I'll be 63 in August.
So,
Yeah.
April 14th?
April 14th, yes, my birthday, yeah.
And you're August?
August 1st, yeah.
August 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we got to get together and do some things.
No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it.
Yeah, we could do some things. So once again, blessings and thank you both for being on this show. And I hope that what we've heard about your stories will uplift some brothers and sisters who are watching this, so they can be the better.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because, it's a mindset and, it's choices. But, the key is in this thing called life, man. You got to be with good people, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ain't with good
Say that
people,
again,
man,
Michael?
the key in life, man, be around good people.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be around good people.
Man. People that are genuine.
That's right.
People don't want nothing. They want to see the best for you because that's what I love about him. I mean, we together through thick and thin, I mean, no matter what. He knows whether I go or wherever he goes, I mean, hey, we together. It's like peanut butter and jelly. We go together. You know what I'm saying? Don't change.
Well, it's funny we were talking about earlier about like with the last question you had asked. It's like, and I tell people this. They say, "What you mean you don't know why you here?" I say, I'm starting to understand more and more, but it's not me that I'm here for.
Yeah.
And you have to just go through some things to start getting that. You think it's about you, but it's not. It's about what you could do for other people.
Yeah.
That's where your power comes in there.
Really.
How many people you can bring together to do, or at least be motivated to do one good thing.
You always want to elevate people.
You know what I mean? And once you start figuring it out, then people say, oh, wow. 'Cause I think that I was blessed to go through what I went through and come out pretty much unscathed. First, mother and father. Always been supportive. And then my immediate family, my brothers and my sister. Never treated me different. Never made it like as if I was something was wrong with me or anything. They always embraced me when I came. Glad to see me. It's like you guys, people. And that makes it's bigger than you. It's way bigger.
No doubt, man.
It's like, how many people can you help? It's a race. The race to help as many as people as you can before you leave here. That way you never leave.
Well, the thing, you're right. You'll never leave because you have placed a footprint in somebody's spirit that was positive. And both you guys have done that.
Well, see, Chann, like, okay, look, I've been through all this jail stuff, right? Not bragging on it. I wish I would never went through it, but I guess I had to.
No, you had to go there to get
to this very seat right now.
Exactly.
But it also gave me the ability. Then I went back and got my high school diploma, went back and got my college degree. You know what I mean? In jail. But it don't say nothing about jail. It say Coastline College. Graduate of Coastline College.
Exactly.
It don't say nothing about the jail. I mean, I had a proctor. They had to let me go use the computer.
Right.
Back then when I was taking my test. And so, and as you go through life and you helping people, then you forget about yourself and then you concentrate on more people.
That's right.
And it equipped me for when I go and say something. Like when I go to the juvenile hall and speak, and the kids, here come another old athlete, blah. I say, look, you little punk, you ain't did nothing. I say, if you'd have been anywhere, wherever I was, I'd have slapped you upside your head, And they all get stand up. And I said, look, man, I done been through all this. I say, I done been through juvenile hall, LP, Scott and Scudder, Camp Munns, Camp Finner, YA, Wayside, federal prison, state prison. Never been stabbed. Never had really no real problems in there. Every now and then you might have to whoop on the guy, take a guy in the laundry room and give him a little therapy right quick.
You said give him a little therapy.
Yeah, sometimes you have to do that,
Make it right. Listen, we got to go. Everybody, thank you so much for watching the program today. And stay with me, The Chann Berry Show, and we'll be on with more guests that are just mind-blowing and earth-shattering and healing for you. God bless you.
God bless.
God bless.